Once upon a time, in a mystical land far beyond the realms of ordinary men, lay a magical kingdom hidden amongst clouds. This was not a kingdom of bricks and stone, but a vibrant tapestry of colors, nurtured and nourished by ethereal beings known as the Éclair. The kingdom thrived under the shimmering charm of nature, where trees bore golden fruits and rivers flowed with laughter. In this wonder-filled kingdom lived a young Éclair named Rumi. Rumi was unlike the others in the kingdom, for she had a heart that brimmed with curiosity. Her favorite spot was atop the tallest tree, where she would sit for hours, gazing at the distant places her mind could only dream of visiting. One day, while seated on her treetop haven, Rumi spotted a glimmering object descending from the sky. She watched with wide eyes as it landed softly in the meadow. Driven by an uncontainable excitement, Rumi rushed to see what wondrous thing had come to their land. Upon reaching, she discovered a delicate orb, glowing with a soft and inviting light. As she touched it, a warm sensation enveloped her, and a voice spoke from within, "I am the essence of adventure." The voice carried tales of distant lands, echoing the desires that Rumi had always nurtured in her heart. The essence offered Rumi a chance to explore the world beyond, to embark on adventures beyond imagination, provided she returned with stories to enrich the kingdom's soul. Eager to seize the opportunity, Rumi agreed. With a gentle whisper of wind, the orb transformed into a guiding star, leading Rumi beyond the borders of her magical world. Her journey took her through halcyon valleys, across whispering oceans, and into bustling towns filled with beings she only knew in legends. As the days turned into months, Rumi collected stories of courage, kindness, and wisdom. Each encounter was a new chapter, each adventure a lesson. The people she met spoke of dreams and fears, linking their hearts to hers across invisible threads of unity. Eventually, Rumi felt the pull of home, the ache to share her tales with those she loved. As she retraced her path, guided once more by the celestial light, her heart brimmed with joy and wisdom. Upon her return, Rumi found the kingdom eagerly awaiting her stories. With the essence softly glowing in her hand, she told them of the world's wonders, the kindness she witnessed, and the adventures she embraced. Her tales wove magic into the air, enriching the kingdom with every word. The kingdom, once vibrant, now radiated with newfound enlightenment and unity. As Rumi shared her final story, she realized that the richest treasure of her journey was the love apparent in the eyes before her. And so, the kingdom thrived, with Rumi's stories forever entwined in the fabric of its existence, a testament to the power of adventure and the beauty of shared tales. Long, long ago in a distant land, there was a kingdom ruled by King Zamir. He was exceedingly harsh, merciless, and arrogant. To maintain his power, he spared no one from his cruelty, not even his own family. Zamir had 7 daughters, like stars adorning the sky of the royal palace. Their names were Sanjida, Maria, Arifa, Zainab, Huraib, Layla, and Nazneen. Each was a symbol of exquisite beauty and had hearts filled with compassion, humility, and integrity. The citizens of the kingdom loved them dearly, as they secretly alleviated the people's sufferings. However, King Zamir desired his daughters to be ruthless, power-hungry, so that they could rule the kingdom with an iron fist in the future. But the 7 princesses were the exact opposite. They longed for peace, justice, and mercy. One day, a hidden conspiracy within the kingdom was exposed. The people discovered that King Zamir was committing various injustices against them. The suspicion arose that the princesses had secretly helped spread the news. Blind with rage, King Zamir concluded that his daughters had plotted against him. That night, the 7 princesses were summoned to the throne room. They stood there in golden gowns, adorned with floral garlands on their heads, devoid of guilt, for they believed they stood for the truth. But in a thunderous voice, the king declared, "You have betrayed me." The punishment for treason is death." The daughters cried out, "Father, we only stood for the truth. We wished no harm upon you, nor wanted your throne to fall. All we wanted was for you to become a noble ruler." Yet, Zamir's heart was as hard as stone. No plea could melt his resolve. The very next morning, 7 nooses hung in the palace courtyard. The daughters were executed before the kingdom, a day recorded in history as one of disgrace. But their spirits weren't lost. It is said that the souls of the 7 sisters still wander in the winds of the kingdom, whispering, "Love and truth can never be suppressed." And what of King Zamir? He lost his 7 stars, lost the love of his people, and lost his inner peace. In the end, solitude and regret were his only companions. In the distant land of Valmoria, a kingdom surrounded by mountains, deep forests, and crystal-clear rivers, lay the most mysterious place, the old northern tower of the royal palace. Few dared to venture there, for it housed the Devil's Mirror. Legend had it that the mirror was crafted by a fearsome sorcerer who had sold his soul to dark powers. Beautiful with a silver frame adorned with intricate carvings, the mirror hid a terrible secret. It absorbed the fears and weaknesses of the souls that gazed into it. The lone princess of this kingdom was Eleonora, a mesmerizing beauty with eyes as blue as the sky. Her laughter echoed like the sound of falling water, and her allure captivated all of Valmoria's inhabitants. With insatiable curiosity, Eleonora had heard tales of the Devil's Mirror. One stormy night, as thunder rocked the palace, Eleonora sneaked her way into the northern tower. The aged door creaked as it opened, and a faint, eerie glow emerged from the darkness. The ominous mirror was there. Approaching cautiously, Eleonora first saw her reflection, a vision seemingly more stunning than reality. A blue gown adorned her form, a crown of pearls sat upon her head. Transfixed by the sight, she continued to stare. Then, suddenly, from behind her reflection, emerged a distorted face, a monstrous visage. A blood-red hand lay upon her shoulder. Shocked, Eleonora attempted to step back, but her feet felt rooted to the ground. The mirror began to draw her soul gently from her body, a cold chill spreading through her heart. The Devil's Mirror offered her a sinister pact. "Stand before me every night, and your beauty will remain intact. But if you dare to miss even a moment before me, your true visage will be revealed, a twisted, mournful creature." Fearfully, Eleonora agreed. Each day she sat hours before the mirror, smiling at her reflection. The kingdom witnessed her beauty growing even more radiant, yet noticed an artificial smile, a deep sadness in her eyes. Strange occurrences began in the palace. Those who approached the tower mysteriously vanished. In time, Eleonora realized the mirror not only ensnared her, but threatened the entire kingdom. Faced with impending doom, she resolved to destroy it, whatever the cost. On a full moon night, when the mirror's magic diminished, Eleonora gathered her courage. She stood before it once more. The monstrous form reappeared, eyes blazing red. Bravely she declared, "You can absorb my fears, but my spirit, my will, those you shall never imprison." Her words unleashed a brilliant light from her heart. The light struck the mirror. With a terrible scream, the mirror shattered into thousands of pieces, scattered across the floor. The devil's spirit vanished immediately. Eleonora fell to the ground. Her beauty was changed. Strands of white showed in her hair, marks of weariness etched her face. Yet her eyes shone brighter than ever, filled with courage and true love. The people of Valmoria surrounded their queen anew, cherishing the woman who conquered fear and freed the realm. And the mirror shards? Locked away in a stone chest within the palace's most secret chamber. But, should the chest ever be opened, perhaps the devil's mirror awaits the gaze of another curious eye once more. Summer had arrived, bringing with it the fiery heat of the sun that seemed to scorch the entire village. Fields were parched, and the pond held onto its water like a treasured possession. Come afternoon, the villagers would cover their heads with towels and doze on their verandas. In the village lived Ramu and Shyammu, two mischievous boys. Friendship was in their blood, and mischief was their hobby. Throughout the year, they would hatch one plan or another, sometimes searching for bird nests, other times fishing by the bubbling streams. But come summer, their eyes were set on the famous mango orchard at the edge of the village. In that orchard was a massive mango tree, old, but so full of life that it seemed to have 1,000 stories to tell. Hanging from its branches were clusters of golden, juicy, ripe mangoes. One afternoon, when the villagers were all asleep and the fields were perfectly silent, Ramu said to Shyammu, "Shyammu, let's steal mangoes today. The tree is full of ripe mangoes, and no one will see." Shyammu, a bit frightened, replied, "But if we're caught, Uncle will thrash us with a stick." Ramu winked and said, "Caught? Let me take care of that. No one will even know." On the way, they found a palm leaf fan hanging. They planned to pretend, if the owner came along, they'd say they were panting in the heat and needed to rest under the tree's shade. With their plan in place, the duo approached the tree. Ramu quickly climbed up. Once on top, he was enveloped in the aroma of mangoes. The mangoes glistened in the sunlight. "Hurry and pluck some before we're spotted," Shyammu urged from below. Ramu swiftly started dropping mangoes, and Shyammu began collecting them in a towel. Both were bubbling with joy. Just then a voice boomed from behind. "Hey boys, what are you up to?" Turning around, they saw the orchard owner, a stout stick in his hand. Cold sweat broke across their backs. Ramu stayed frozen on the tree. Shyammu, clutching the palm leaf fan, stammered, "Uncle, we were exhausted in the heat and took rest under the tree. And I was thinking, if there's a bird's nest up there, we could advise you not to cut the tree." Ramu joined the act from above. "Yes, Uncle, I was looking for a bird's nest. And what a great tree! It's important to preserve such trees." The owner watched their dramatic performance for a while, a smile forming on his lips. He then said, "You've got courage and wit, but remember, what you desire with love, you can easily have. Stealing and lying will only snatch away your fun." Moved by kindness, he added, "Go, take a few mangoes, but respect the shade and the fruits of the tree."